Well, good morning, Laguna Woods. I'm so glad you tuned in this morning. We have a very interesting guest. His name is Chung-Li, and he'll be with us in just a moment. But I wanted to start with the verse, and it's one that you probably have heard quite a bit at weddings, maybe, but it's such a great admonition for us all, and it is this. It's in 1 Corinthians 13 at verse 13. It says, "And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love." And so we chose that verse because Chung-Li has experienced, well, the love of God for one thing. But Chung-Li, why don't you... I wanted you to be on, and thank you for coming on.
Well, thank
because
you
you really are one of the most interesting people. I know that embarrasses you. You hate that kind of stuff, but you're such an interesting person for me. And I love that you're still traveling the world, and when you travel, you're doing things for the Lord. I know it's recently in China, and I'm going to have Chung-Li on for 2 days, so I think we'll get to that type of thing more tomorrow. But I wanted us to start with, let us get to know you a little bit. You were born in China.
I was born in China mainland, and before the Second World War, and
Wow.
and during the political turmoil, my dad actually moved to Hong Kong, and we lived in Hong Kong for 2 years, and then he had a
Because Hong Kong was part of the British at that
yes,
time.
at that time it's still British, and then he was offered a job in Taiwan. So
you
we
then
all
moved to Taiwan.
And from there, he knew I wouldn't make the grade to enter university, so he suggested maybe I should consider applying to some schools in the United States.
Oh.
Yeah, so he put that idea into my mind. And
Where did you end up going?
I ended up going to Beloit, Wisconsin, to Beloit College.
No
Yes.
kidding.
Yeah, he said that it's best to go to Middle America rather than the East is too conservative, West is too liberal. Anyway.
I've never heard the East called conservative, but anyway, whatever.
Anyway, so I came by myself just before I was 20 years old. And,
Wow.
it was
That's a scary thing, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't scary because of all the promises ahead of me. So I came by myself and went to school, and it was a difficult time because I had to learn the English language. I spoke English okay because I was in Hong Kong for 2 years, but still learning to understand the lecture and so on. It's quite a challenging,
very difficult
time for me, and so after that I had an opportunity to transfer to Columbia University. So I was in Columbia University engineering school, and that's how I.
And what city is that, or what state? I don't know.
What,
Where
Columbia University?
Yes.
Oh,
I know. Forgive
it's
me.
New York City.
It is New York City.
New York City.
You got that right. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so I was in New York City for.
Wow, what a change to go from Taiwan to the Middle America to New York.
That's right. That's right. And for the first year, I stayed on campus. I never even. The campus was about 116th Street, 120th
okay.
Street. I never ventured down past 110th Street. You know, it just, anyway, so.
So what happened next? What's the next key moment in your, somewhere along the line you meet your lovely wife, May.
Yes. Someone said I married both my class.
Well, that could have been me, but I don't know.
Anyway,
We love May, and May will be on at some other point in time, but she's awesome.
So anyway, we met through a mutual friend, and
Now, is this in New York?
this was in New York City.
Okay.
And we got married in New York City, and
And then I know you had, I was pretty impressed with this, but I think you had 4 boys in 4 years.
nobody.
Not that that was hard on you.
No, that was hard on my wife, really.
Yeah.
God blessed us with 4 great sons, and
I know one of them, Maurice.
yes, he's the youngest. He lives in Irvine.
I know, that's why he's awesome.
He-
Well, he's not a kid anymore.
No, he himself
Yeah.
has 3 kids, and the oldest already graduated from university, and the youngest is a freshman.
So Chung-Li, what I'd really like, if we could, how did you eventually, because I know the Lord was not a part of your life at that point, how did the love of God reach out to you and change your life?
Well, the fact is, I eventually realized that God loves each of us. God made all of us, and He loves us and has a plan for us, regardless whether we know Him or not. He has a plan, and we just have to receive Him first. And
Yes.
so anyway, I had an opportunity to work in New York City, and eventually I was offered a opportunity to go to Brazil. And at that time, we already have
Okay.
four sons, and 3 of them are still in diapers. But my wife, when I told her about the opportunity I was given, she just said that if you decide to go, buy a set of Portuguese records, Portuguese language.
Yes, Brazil is Portuguese.
Yeah. Over.
So is it in Brazil, or I think you end up in Colombia?
Yes.
And isn't that where somebody reached out and told you?
Well, what happens is you work as a mercenary when you all work overseas and wherever the assignment is. So we were in Brazil for 3 years, and then there was an interlude in Taiwan also. And then after that, another company in the U.S. Hired me to go to Colombia.
But wasn't that was such a, because I know that's where you heard about the Lord.
Yes. Well.
And so you actually have always said, it's so hard for you to, I mean, God orchestrated your life to get you to Colombia where you heard.
Absolutely. That's the story of my life, that God has a plan for each of us, whether we knew Him or not.
Yes.
So we ended up in Bogota, Colombia, and because we want to associate with English-speaking people, so we attend an English-speaking church, just so we can get the English part in. And one day, it's actually, he's not a pastor, he's just a layman. He delivered the message, and the message was on 1 Corinthians 13.
It's amazing. So that was this verse. And the love of God, not only did He get you there, but He got you into that church get to hear it. So,
not only that,
well, I'm going to have to interrupt because we have to end for today. Can you come back tomorrow?
Sure.
You will. Stay seated and you will. Anyway, the love of God. We're going to hear more about it tomorrow, but thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Have a great day.